Culture Warrior segment tonight, a new book called The Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother details how Yale professor Amy Chua is raising her two daughters. The book is controversial because Miss Chua basically doesn't let her kids have any fun. The professor declined to be interviewed by me, but did speak to Gretchen Carlson.
You did not allow them to have sleepovers, TV, participating in school plays, sports. They could never get any grade less than an A, and they had to choose between the violin or the piano. Some people are saying, wow, this is so over the top, and you never gave these kids any choices on their own. How do you respond to that?
I have to say that list was applied to me very strictly by my own very strict Chinese immigrant parents, because they just didn't know much.
All right, Ms. Chua didn't directly answer Ms. Carlson's question, but here now are the Culture Warriors. Gretchen Carlson, filling in for Margaret Hoover, Fox Business anchor Cheryl Casoni. So, Carlson, I thought you were a little light on her. I know it's the morning. I know.
Oh no, I can be tough. I think you know.
No,
Yeah.
you can.
Maybe I decided to take a different tact with her because every other person who has interviewed her has annihilated her. Also, I grew up with a Chinese Swedish mother who was 80% of what Amy Chua was, not with the disparaging remarks that she gave her children. Okay, so I grew up.
You
with
couldn't watch TV?
I had a lot of rules, and you know what? Society needs more strict rules.
Well, there's a difference between a lot of rules and I can't watch TV.
Here's what my mom taught me.
Yeah.
Every single day she said to me, you can be whatever you want to be, and you should make the most of your talents. And consequently, I was an A student, a violin prodigy, and
well,
most importantly, I was a
Yes.
well-rounded child.
Okay, but if you're a well-rounded child, that means you had fun. You had sleepovers, you do the play. Her kids can't do anything, Casoni. They can't do anything.
Maybe American children are having too much fun. I mean, this book and this woman has struck a nerve in this country.
I can't believe you guys are both sticking up for this woman.
No,
I can't believe you're not.
I'm not.
Let me give you the numbers. If you look, number one in math, the Chinese.
Exactly.
What are American kids? They're 31st. Number one in science, the Chinese. They are way ahead of us.
That's because they execute them if they don't do well. They shoot them.
We are threatened by. We are threatened by.
This is a serious issue.
We're threatened.
This is a serious issue.
It is a serious issue, and parents have a responsibility to make sure their kids are academically prepared to compete.
And
I'm not arguing that. But you don't have to go overboard like this crazy woman.
Well,
you can't watch TV. You can't go out and play.
She admits that she went overboard.
She admits.
The point of the book is that she had a transformation when her younger daughter rebelled at age 13.
Right.
Okay. She let her quit the violin, and now she's really
okay.
She's
So you're
telling
telling me that all these years, all right, she was doing this, and she's an intelligent woman. She said, "Yeah, look, here's the deal," and I got to make this really personal so you both understand it. Who's the #1 news guy in prime time?
You.
Thank you. All right. Who is the biggest idiot kid in the world? Right here. All right?
It can happen both ways.
Let me just listen to me for a minute. I mean, they were taking bets on what year I would enter the penitentiary. And if you read Bold Fresh, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not exaggerating. I was the dopiest kid in the world. All right. It doesn't have to do with pressuring your child. I had the greatest mom in the world. You know why? Because my mom ferried me around from hockey game to basketball game to baseball game to football game. And I played all of these sports. And my father said, just pass, you moron. He didn't say you moron. It wasn't Archie Bunker. But he just said, just pass. All right? And look where I am today. Harvard degree. All right? #1, fairly articulate, even if you don't like me. This pressuring kids is wrong. It is morally wrong.
So it's more...
Let kids be kids.
We're not arguing with that. What we're saying
you
is
gave her a pass.
Too many American parents think that it's cool to be the friend of your child.
And they're idiots.
And would you espouse for your children to be like Snooki? Or to be like the children
That's irresponsible parenting.
No, it's not. It's one of the #1 shows on television.
Snooki, hold, wait a minute. Snooki, whoever parented her, was irresponsible.
And how many millions of people watch that show?
It doesn't matter. You know, if you could be a drug dealer and make gazillions of dollars. What I'm trying to say is this Amy Chua hurt her children by denying them a childhood. This isn't a slave labor camp.
She didn't deny them a childhood.
Don't give me that. You know she did reading the book.
Her daughter wrote an op-ed in the New York Post, and here's what
she said. If you read that book, there's no way those kids were happy doing what they were doing.
Here's what her daughter said in her own words, that she now, if she would die today, she would feel like I lived, in her words, I lived my whole life at 110%.
Okay. Daughters love their moms. They're not going to turn on their moms. I'm just saying, you don't want to, you're from Italian, okay? You have to let the kid breathe. You can't be all over the kid. You got to play the cello. You got to play the trombone. If the kid has a talent, an obligation to try to develop the town.
But what I'm saying is that in this country, and I think what we're doing so differently from the Chinese these days, Bills, is that we're letting our children breathe too much.
Have you
It's
been
about
to
video
China?
games.
Have you been there?
I've interviewed a lot of Chinese
Okay, I've been
companies,
there.
executives,
You
engineers.
don't want your kid to be anywhere near there.
isn't
They are
It's a
building,
totalitarian system.
they are building a country.
That's
though.
No,
the
but the
government.
government
They're building a
runs the
country.
schools in China. It tells them what to do and what not
They
to
are
do.
threatening our country, and that is why this woman has had a court in this country, Bill, because they
That's
are a
not the
threat
way to
us.
beat the Chinese.
But this is what
Creative
this
and
book is
innovation
to.
is the way to
Bill,
beat the
even
Chinese.
if you only agree with 20% of this book or
Yeah,
80%, this is getting the American public to talk about parenting.
Okay, that's fine. And if
I
Ms.
think
Chua
that's
would have come
important.
on here, I wasn't going to hammer the woman, but the woman can't stand up to my questioning. That's why she's not here, because she would sell gazillions a book if she came in. She, Yale professor,
Well,
can't stand up to the question.
She sold
least it's-
gazillions of books by
I'm
coming
a
on
former
Fox and Friends.
teacher. I'm a former teacher. I taught kids. I know what's wrong with the educational system. What's wrong with it is there's not enough discipline in it. But that doesn't
Well, that's
mean
what
you
she's
say
saying.
no. She says you can't watch TV. You can't be in the school play. You can't do sports. That's insane, Carlson.
But we've gotten
I'm
the
not-
discussion
yeah,
going, and I
I'm
think
not
that's what
saying
you're
that
both
I know.
saying.
I'm
Her
trying. The discussion is you guys are
great.
crazy and I'm right. That's the discussion.
You know what? I'll say it again. I thank God every day that I had a Chinese Swedish mother who believed in 80%
Oh, don't give
of
me
what is
this.
in
You were a
this book.
party girl. I know about you in
Oh,
Minnesota.
please.
You were out all the time.
Of course, I had a
think-
heck of a lot of fun along the road.
That's right.
But I believe in
Heck of a
making-
lot of fun.
I believe in making the most of a person's talents. And you know what?
Yeah.
I'm teaching my children the same thing.
You're not doing what she's doing.
I believe that we need to look at the lessons that she did teach her daughters, and I think we can learn a few things from this book
right.
and from her. I think we need to pay attention.
Very stimulating discussion, ladies. Thanks very much.